What is good? What is good, everybody? It's your boy Cam. I just want to give feedback from the Mavericks versus the Phoenix Suns game last night. And good news is the Mavericks actually came out and bounced back and got the win over the Phoenix Suns. And honestly, this was the most intense game the Mavericks have had so far this season. And it was really, really crazy. But before I go to there, I do want to talk about the stats for the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving finished with 20 points. Daniel Gafford finished with 16. Maxi Kleber had a season high 15 points last night. Spencer Dinwiddie finished with 15, and Klay Thompson finished with 11. Like, I do want to talk about how that first half went, and the Mavericks actually had the best defense I've ever seen all season playing that first half. They actually held the Phoenix Suns to 39 points in the first half, which is they only held them to 14 points in the second quarter. I was just very, very impressed by their defense, especially after they had a tough blow and loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But how the game all started off, Kyrie Irving hit 4 3-pointers in a row. He could not even miss. I was like, dang, this dude's really killing it. It's like, gosh, man, Kyrie was just ready to go that first tip off of the game, and Kyrie was just ready to play when that game started. Like, so going into the third quarter, and then the Suns were actually they made a little run in the third quarter, and then the Mavericks and the Suns were struggling to score for the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. So what happened is the Mavericks actually held the Suns Jusuf Nurkic to 3 points, but what happened was, so Daniel Nurkic is like in the paint. He elbows Daniel Gafford in his mouth, and then, of course, they call an offensive foul, and then Naji Marshall confronts him, and then when Naji Marshall says something to Jusuf Nurkic, so he comes back to see what he has to say, and then all of a sudden, Jusuf Nurkic throws a punch at him, and then, of course, Naji Marshall throws a punch at him back, and then PJ Washington shoves him to the ground. And then, honestly, Jusuf Nurkic deserved that because he's the one that instigated everything. Like, what he did was total BS, what he did to Gafford and to the Mavericks. And of course, and Naji Marshall, Jusuf Nurkic, and PJ Washington get ejected from the game, of course. I was honestly surprised they threw out PJ Washington. They should have just gave him a tech for shoving him, and especially when Nurkic was the one that started it. And I honestly, I'm glad the Mavericks picked up Naji Marshall because he's the guy that will stick up for your teammates. I mean, of course, Naji Marshall has some history before he got into it with Jimmy Butler last season when he was with the Pelicans, when they it all started with a flagrant foul by Kevin Love with Zion Williamson, but after that, they ended up that when they apologized to each other, and that's when Jose Alvarado and Thomas Bryant get into it. Things got real ugly after that. But back to what I was saying about the game. But I think what should have happened is Jusuf Nurkic should have got a flagrant penalty too for elbowing Gafford in the mouth like that. I don't know why he didn't get a flagrant foul for that. That really just frustrated me. Jusuf Nurkic should have been ejected from that. But again, I'm not mad at Naji Marshall for being suspended for defending his teammate and defending himself after when he didn't swing first. But and so the suspensions are so Jusuf Nurkic is suspended for 3 games, and PJ Washington is suspended just for tonight, which really surprises me. They should just let him came back and play tonight. But Naji Marshall gets 4 game suspensions. I'm like, what? What the hell, man? Like I said, like Nurkic the one that swung at him first, and 2, he the one that elbowed Daniel Gafford in his freaking mouth. I'm like, so you're telling me that Naji Marshall gets suspended more for defending his teammate and defending himself? I'm like, come on, man. That just ticks me off right there. It's like, this is total BS what the NBA is doing. It's like, no wonder why the NBA ratings have been going down, because the way the NBA is now these days, it's just too soft, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love watching the game. It's just like, guys, sometimes you just don't want to watch it, but I'm definitely gotta support my Mavericks. It's like, damn, man. It's like, all I'm saying is Naji Marshall just needs to keep his head up. Just know he didn't do nothing wrong. Like Kendrick Perkins said today, I was reading the article, he should have been only suspended for 2 games, not 4. And he was saying the same thing I'm saying. He had the right to defend himself and defend his teammate. It's like, gosh, man. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Like when Nurkic knows that he can't mess with Draymond, especially like when Draymond swung at him. But even though Nurkic didn't start anything, but Nurkic will know better not to mess with Draymond Green. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, I get you having a rough game, but there's just no excuse for your actions, man. It's like, gosh, but anyway, so tonight the Mavericks actually play the Portland Trail Blazers, and I think it's gonna be challenging, but I think we can win. It's gonna be, my thing is why it's gonna be more challenging tonight, because we don't have PJ Washington, Naji Marshall, and we don't have Luka, and we don't have an injury update on Derek Lively, is if he's going to return tonight or not. But honestly, I really want Derek Lively to play tonight, but I wouldn't want to risk him rushing him back because it's still pretty early in the season. We just got to need to keep our guys healthy, and I think we'll be all right. And so I do want to talk about this upcoming schedule for the Mavericks. Like I said, tonight the Mavericks take on the Portland Trail Blazers on the road, and then Monday night they take on the Sacramento Kings on the road. Wednesday night, on New Year's Day, the Mavericks are back on the road again, and they take on the Houston Rockets, who's a surprisingly good team right now. And this is Ime Udoka's second year as the head coach for the Rockets. So the Rockets are actually doing pretty good. They actually came up on taking the L last night to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were up 16 and going into that with like 4 or 5 minutes left, and they still lose the game. It's just like, hey man, you like in the 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, you just never know what could possibly happen. You gotta stay locked in, like until the final buzzer sounds. It's never over until the final buzzer. That's all I'm saying, man. And then Friday is gonna be the toughest game of the month of January, which is we take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is who is the best team in the NBA right now. They only lost 4 games this season so far, so it's gonna be a tough one, but I think we'll be ready and everything's gonna be all right. But right now, we just gotta focus on playing the Portland Trailblazers. We get this win and we just go from there. But all I'm saying is, and it's frustrating me now. We ain't gonna have Naji Marshall for Cleveland Cavaliers, because almost everybody on that team can shoot. And then last night when Cleveland played the Denver Nuggets, there was like 4 guys with 20 plus points. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, Cleveland's going to give us some hell. But everything will be all right. Like I said, let's just focus on tonight. Let's just get this win, get ready for the Portland Trail Blazers. And just everybody just keep their head up. I mean, stuff happens all the time. This is how the game is. And Kyrie Irving said in an interview that he would pay for Naji Marshall and PJ Washington's fines for their suspensions, but I guess they haven't got fined yet. I don't know, so we'll see if they'll be getting fined. But like I said, Naji Marshall does not deserve to be suspended for 4 games, but Nurkic gets suspended for 3 games when he's the one that instigated it and everything. But it is what it is. But we'll be all right. We just get ready to play ball tonight and just get this win. That includes my podcast for today. I will see you on the next one, and let's go, Mavs, and just get this win.